Hey there, Michael Griffiths here, founder of Referral Marketing Guru, and welcome to this week's Get More Referrals Today podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about client retention, and in particular, the problem with client retention and why it pretty much becomes luck whether clients stay, how long they stay, and whether they turn themselves into a walking, talking, ranting, raving billboard for you or not. Because in essence, we're not doing the right things to make our clients love us. And I mean, absolutely love us. Sure, you might be doing a good job. You might be providing a great service, but it's not enough. And I'll share with you why real soon. Whether you are joining us on your favorite podcast station, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or watching us across our social platforms, YouTube, search Referral Marketing Guru, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you happen to be, it's great to have you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, as well as across our socials, putting things out every single day to help activate extraordinary moments in your business. Create that, wow, I didn't expect that to happen factor to increase your retention, to increase your referrals, and help you grow your business faster. As always, there's no fee. We don't run ads. We don't have sponsors. If you love the show, just make sure you give it a review. Make sure you share it on with other people who might enjoy it also. That's how we've remained such a prominent podcast over the last 5 years. So I really appreciate you, A, joining us, but B, sharing it with everyone else that you know that might also enjoy this episode. So let's get into client retention. See, this is how we think at the moment. And I talk all the time around the two parts of the brain. The cortex part of the brain, which is logical, rational, analytical. It understands what's going on. It understands language. It's where we operate from and it's where we exist from probably 80, 90% of our day. Then you've got the limbic part of the brain, which is all based on feeling. It's all based on you being able to do these brain chemical actions that we talk about, where you've got dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin flooding through someone's brain. See, most of the time, unfortunately, what sits in someone's brain is cortisol. And that's the danger chemical, the stress chemical, to say, hold on, slow down, doesn't feel right, take a step back. And then you go into the cortex brain and you work out what doesn't feel right and you rationalize it. And in the end, you come up with what you've decided to do. But it's a limbic part of the brain that makes all human decisions. It controls all human behavior, but it doesn't understand language. So in essence, client retention isn't about simply, if I do this, followed by this, followed by this, and you tick the boxes. So these are the mistakes that I see when people think about, well, how do I do client retention? How do I keep my clients for longer? How do I make them happier? How do I get them to become repeat clients? All of those things, which obviously are a great thing to be able to have, and it really will help the bottom line of the business. But if you see client retention as a process, as a tick the box, as a follow the script, then you're actually missing out on the whole ingredient of human behavior and how you make someone feel. Because it's how you make them feel that determines what they do next. And whether that is they leave, they stay longer and they tell people about you, whether they scream from the rooftops how amazing you are, it comes down to how you make them feel. So quite often people go, well, I do a great job. Well, you're supposed to. That's what you get paid for. And don't get me wrong, doing a great job makes them feel a particular way. It helps them get this particular outcome they wanted. It might help them remove the pain points that they were going through. It might help them in so many different ways, which then floods their system with dopamine, feeling good. It might flood their system with oxytocin. I feel close to you. I trust you more. So by doing a good job helps in flooding their system with the right sorts of brain chemicals. But it's not enough. Because the thing is that these brain chemicals last for literally seconds. And then we've got to keep going and we've got to keep finding more of them. Because that's what our Brain does. So when you think about what should we be doing around client retention, well, it's what we talk about all the time in terms of how do we activate extraordinary moments throughout our business. And again, it's about mapping something out so that you know what the customer journey looks like and what you should be doing in each of those. But it's so much more around becoming a certain way, not just focusing on the doing, but who you need to be. See, when we talk about and what we help people be able to do in terms of getting this enchanter mindset, getting this magical way of thinking, where it's like, oh, I could do that for them. I could help them with this, where it doesn't have anything to do with you needing the end outcome to help you. Now, that's really rare to be able to get to that point. Not because we can't do it, but again, the way we are hardwired. We are hardwired for survival. We're hardwired to ensure that the part of the brain is constantly looking for social acceptance, looking for how do we keep food in our stomachs, looking for how we keep shelter. So when we're constantly in sort of that survival hardwiring of our brain, it becomes really hard then to be in what I call thrive mode and have that enchanter mentality. When you're wondering, how am I going to put food on the table, pay the next lot of bills, keep my staff on? Really, you don't give a stuff how Bob's feeling over there. You've got bigger problems yourself. But unfortunately, that's what's stopping us from creating this enchanter mentality. It's also stopping us from creating what we call this brain chemical approach. See, every aspect of your business should be looked at from a brain chemical approach. What brain chemicals am I creating by doing this? I'll give a prime example of something that just happened the other week. So I need a new cleaning service. Just searched online, found a cleaning service, filled in the form, got a text message straight away, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty efficient, pretty good. Their text message, thank you so much for filling in the form. We're having a look through the people in your area, and we'll be in contact with you real soon. Perfect. What a great start. And then about a day later, we get a text message. This is, I won't use the agency's name, this is so-and-so. Just letting you know that Paula will give you a call in the next few hours to organise your cleaning. Perfect. No message from Paula. No phone call from Paula. So then 24 hours later, I get another message from the cleaning service. Just all text messages. We're just checking that Paula has made contact. If not, phone us on this number. Now, think about this for a moment. Like, they're trying to be efficient. You're probably have done this very similar. But let's put ourselves in the other person's shoes. If Paula's called, great. If Paula hasn't called, we have a problem. But to be able to simply solve the problem, you now want me to call another number rather than just texting back, I haven't heard from Paula. So think about the brain chemical you've just created in me. Cortisol, annoyance, stress. It's another thing on my list now that I have to handle when you are the agency that should be handling this sort of stuff for me. Think about the level of trust I have if you need to send me a message and you don't even know whether Paul has contacted me or not. So again, we're not creating oxytocin because my trust of you is getting further and further and further apart. See, on face value, it looks like they're really doing a good job and they're being really efficient and they're following up. But you can see when we dive deeper into this, that in fact, what they're actually doing is making the relationship between me and them worse. Because the brain chemicals that they're activating in me is cortisol, stress, danger, get out of there. That's what cortisol's there for. You put a hand on the hot pot And it creates this neuron pathway in your cortex brain that says, don't do that again, that hurt. So when you go anywhere near the hot pot next time, your brain floods with cortisol going, danger, danger, danger. We've been down this path before. Don't do it again. And therefore, hopefully, you don't put your hand back on the pot again. That's what's happening throughout your business with your prospects, with your networks, with your referral sources, with your clients, with your team, constantly. Because again, it's how we are hardwired. Okay? I'm not doing anything here other than understanding neuroscience, primal biology, primal attraction, and brain chemicals. And then when we put all of that into our business, we can start to see there's so many little 1%ers that we're actually stuffing up. We're stuffing them up pretty bad. And hence, your retention goes down. So I hear people talk about, hey, just do a great job. And if you do a great job, they'll stay. Okay, yes, doing a great job is part of it because it floods the brain with good brain chemicals. But as soon as you don't do a good job, you've got nothing else that you're reliant on because you haven't been doing other things that flood your clients' brain chemicals in positive ways. So they've only got one pathway in their cortex. And as soon as that one pathway gets let down, i.e., you don't do a good job, you don't get the result that they were after, you don't remove that pain point, then the positive brain chemical turns into a negative. You see, what just, it blows me away when you think how easy this is to be able to look at every aspect of what we do with our clients to be able to go, are we positively affecting them right now or negatively effectively? Now, the next level on this and why we're just absolutely amazing at this is because we can do it in what we call thrive brain rather than survival brain. So what you think is amazing, I'd probably tear apart and say, you know what? It's average at best. But you don't know any different. You don't know how much more amazing it could be. And that's why we go activating extraordinary moments, not good moments, not great moments, extraordinary moments. And looking at so many thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses and what they're doing, and go, how would you make that just a little bit more remarkable? How could I do that, which just gets one of those brain chemicals taking place within our business? One that I think is a really easy one is how you send out invoices to current clients. And that constantly, I cringe at how horrible that is. It's not doing any favors in terms of good brain chemicals, evoking positive, warm emotions. Now, as humans, we come from tribes, we come from families, we're good around connection, and we're good around story. So your clients are constantly telling stories about you and your business to the other people they have around them. And that's why how we think about client retention equates so easily to client referrals. They go hand in hand. And generally when we suck at one, the other ones ain't going to be too far behind because it comes down to you and how you are. It's got nothing to do with your processes. It's got nothing to do with the scripts. It's got nothing to do with how you do things. It's around the being. And that's the part that needs to change. And honestly, the only way really to change that is around you being around things that are extraordinary and remarkable yourself for you to be able to go, I could do that so much better than what I currently do it right now. So obviously there's a whole bunch of different levels. From a level 0, 1, 2, I'm happy with where I'm at, through to 10, I just want to just take this to a whole extreme new level. And I sit up at that 10 because that's what makes you stand out in your marketplace. That's what makes you get unbelievable word of mouth, because you're creating stories for other people to share about you. The experience that they have. You've all got this story that you've probably told dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times. And you think why you've told that story. Because the way it made you feel when it happened. Whether it be positive or negative. I didn't say it was a positive story. It could have been a negative one. But the way it made you feel when it happened, that's why you tell that story. So how are you making your clients feel? Because in essence, that's what ensures retention goes through the roof. It's got nothing to do with I give them gifts at Christmas time or I send them a message on their birthday. They're all little doing things that are important, but you've got to have a bigger conversation around how your organization needs to be to evoke positive brain chemicals on a consistent basis, not once a year, not twice a year, birthday and Christmas, on a consistent basis, because we need brain chemicals every single day. And they're either getting them from you or they're getting them from someone else. And whoever gives them the brain chemicals, unfortunately, they're the people who influence the others. Hopefully it's been super helpful. If it's the first time you're listening to us, love for you to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, coming out every single week. And again, love for you to be able to share this. If you found that fascinating, share it to other consultants that you know, other coaches that you know, other entrepreneurs that you know that might need a help with their retention. And as always, if you found it super helpful, leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. It shows everyone that it's a great podcast. It helps obviously with the algorithms and keeping us up, being top rated. It makes me feel good too. Okay, guys, have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week. Take care, all.